Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys all had a fantastic day yesterday. For you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content. All these videos that get posted over to a subreddit, I'll have that link down below where I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions, 2v2s, all that good stuff. So I'll have that below. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on X. I'll have that link down below as well. And if you're looking for more in-depth content, I will have my Discord link down below where I have, player pools, sportsbook plays, cores, more videos, all that good stuff. So I'll have that below as well. All right, let's get into my lineups from yesterday. So after having three really good days, I believe it was three really good days in a row. I did not have a good day yesterday. I don't think I liked the way I played yesterday's slate, to be honest. Um, I think this lineup was really good. I think I have some regrets with this lineup. Maybe mainly playing Guy at ownership. I feel like that was pretty bad, especially playing with a Kongu. I was really happy with the Sandra ownership at 8%, and I was also pretty happy with the Ristro ownership. Outside of that, Nikhil was fine. He was Giga Chalk. Jalen obviously wasn't fading. Devin Booker was my favorite spend up on the board. He didn't get the fourth quarter, so that hurt. I don't think this would have cashed if I got like a Devin Booker fourth quarter. What was the cash line? 323 I was at, 338, and Booker was 40% owned. Yeah, I don't think I would have cashed. And then we moved to my other lineup here. Same situation, basically. I just played Mobley, who was another one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate. And then I had Jakob Poeltl instead of Sandro on this one. So it was, what was it? It was a 4v4. 4v4 or 5v5? Might have been a 5v5. I have a bad memory. But I like this lineup a lot. Was it this one or the last one? But I like those Toronto bigs a lot. Dyson, a little bit of regrets. Obviously, Craig Porter Jr. was giga chalk. I thought he was overowned. I thought he would come in a lot lower. Mistake there. Nikhil, like I said, he was fine. I loved Ace Bailey. Evan Mobley, like I said, him and Booker were my two favorite spend ups. And then, yeah, wasn't fading Jalen, wasn't fading a Kongwu. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit indifferent how I played this late yesterday. But I am happy with the low owned Toronto bigs quite a bit. All right, let's get into this slate. We got a little four game here. OKC, Charlotte. I'm hoping we need the NBA Cup to end. It's just messing with the schedule so much. I don't like it at all. But yeah, let's get into it. OKC, Charlotte. Really good spot here for OKC. It just can Charlotte keep this game competitive? So they also have they're also on a back-to-back. Charlotte, that is, like maybe LaMelo Ball sits, and then the spread gets even larger. So we'll have to wait and see. But J-Dub's still going to be out. Aaron Wiggins still going to be out. His ESPN thing was pretty funny there. Lou Dort also on the injury report. He's been out. I don't think they're going to need him here. Up against Charlotte, you might as well just give him an extra day of rest. Are they on the front end of a back-to-back here? They're not. Looks like they are not. But yeah, I don't think you really need Lou Dort in this spot. So I would assume he sits as well. Looking at the price points, looking at the spend ups on this slate, it might be like Giannis is on the back to back, but I like the spot there. You have Luka Doncic, you have SGA. I think I'd rank them personally. It's tough with both Giannis and Luka on back to backs, but I think I'd go. Luka 1, just in case I feel like they could limit Giannis on the back-to-back a little bit. I'd go Luka, Giannis, SGA, I think is how I'd rank the top guys here. Yeah, OG and Anunoby got hurt. If any of you guys played him, that's just unfortunate. Alright, but yeah, it's a pretty good spot for basically everyone. I think SGA is great at 10.7k. Great spend up if this game's competitive. If you're playing for the game to blow out, he's not going to get over 30 minutes. That's the problem. But he'll probably get you 50 fantasy points in 30 minutes anyway, or 28, 29 minutes, whatever it is, right? So risky there. Probably something I'd fade into ownership if he's low owned. He's a great spend up. Great spend up. I just slightly prefer the Bucks Lakers game. Chet Holmgren at 7.5k, I think is solid. Massive ceiling, but really low floor when they're in a blowout. He's only going to get low 20s minutes if the game blows out. That's the problem with Chet Holmgren. So, like, you have to understand, if I'm playing, like, either Chet or SJ, I'm probably playing someone on Charlotte on the other side of this game. And then if we get, like, LaMelo out on a back-to-back, then it gets really tricky, right? Hartenstein's in a great spot. I think I'd prefer spending up for Chet, but I don't mind Hart. AJ Mitchell, solid play still at 6.6K. I still have no issue getting to him. I wouldn't call him anywhere near a must or an amazing play at this price point, but if I have 6.6K remaining, I'm okay putting AJ Mitchell in my lineup for sure. Probably be really a low own tomorrow. Kaysen's playable at 5.1K. Fine as like a filler piece if we get no more value opening up. If we get like Dorda, Joe and Cruz, they're just too pricey for the minutes they're getting right now. Just not playing a ton of minutes. Take a look at the rotation. You can see Joe played the entire fourth quarter. Cruz only played 17 minutes, and the game blew out. I think the ceiling's a little bit higher on Joe. I'd play him in lineups. I actually like some of these values if you're playing for like blowout Joe. Who else got a blowout that was in the rotation? Jalen Williams got a little bit of blowout. Like that could be a little bit interesting. Those would be the only two guys I'd probably consider if you're going for like the blowout route. All right, so on to Charlotte. Like I said, back to back here, so we could see LaMelo Ball sit on a back to back. Kalkbrenner was just personal, so I would assume he's back, and then Brandon Miller is going to remain out. If we get for some reason like Kalkbrenner out again, then Musa looks fantastic. Probably one of the best value plays in the slate. And then if we get Kalk in, I actually really like the price point on Kalk. It's just a really bad spot. But I think both the bigs are good point per dollar plays. Even if Kalk's in, I don't mind them. I think they're solid values. We don't have a ton of value on this slate right now as it stands, but that could open up later with like Denver news. LaMelo, I think, was on a limit tonight, so if he does play, I would imagine another limit tomorrow, and it just takes everyone else out of play for me. Like, everyone is priced up, so Charlotte probably my least favorite team to target on the slate. And if like LaMelo sits, then yeah, the way to attack OKC is like 3-point shooting. So the guy like we want to target Khan here. I think Khan would be a good point per dollar play. Miles, of course, would be playable, but this isn't the spot to attack. Sexton gets a bump, same with Man, but I wouldn't call any priorities or must or amazing plays at that. All right, let's move on to Toronto. News here: CMB is questionable. If he's out, I'm fine going back to the bigs here. I would really like Jakob and I would really like Sandro Mamukelashvili for values. I like Jakob either way. I played him last late. I'm probably going to end up playing him tomorrow, especially if Boyle sits. Just makes the minutes so much more secure for him. We know from last year he's a really solid point per minute guy, and the minutes are up, especially when they don't have one of the bigs. So I love Pirtle here. If CMB's out, if he's in, it's still a really good play for me. I just wouldn't get to like Sandro or CMB personally there. And I like these main wraps going up against the Pacers. Like, I think Brendan Ingram looks really good. Scotty Barnes has the highest floor and the highest ceiling. I like him quite a bit. Quickly's fine at 7K. RJ Barrett's playable. Always a disgusting roster, but playable. And then, yeah, I'll mention Shed for value. If no more value opens up, I actually think he's a pretty good value for this slate, personally. All right, let's move on to Indiana. They're just a mess, man. They cannot avoid injuries. But with that being said, this is a great spot. Now, Toronto has been kind of sending help towards the ball handlers. Like, they sent help towards Donovan Mitchell, if I recall correctly, the other day. So it's a little bit of a concern. But I love Andrew Nembhard. I still think he's too cheap at 6.8K. Pace up spot. Doing everything for this team, playing big minutes if the game can stay competitive. He's been in blowouts every single game. Maybe this one stays competitive. He looks fantastic. I really like him. Pascal Siakam's a great spend up to me. And then one thing to note here is the bigs were on pace for a lot more minutes last game until the game blew out. Jerry was on pace to play a ton. Tony Bradley was playing decent minutes as well. That was mainly because Isaiah Jackson lost a lot of his run. Now, I don't know if that's going to continue, so you have to worry. Be a little bit concerned there. But if JRE is going to get, mid-20s minutes, I do think he's a good value. Tony Bradley's playable. T.J. McConnell is also playable. Minutes have been pretty bad, though. They set the plan 2 games ago, by the way, why he didn't play the first half. That was planned beforehand. But even then, minutes haven't been great. I think in a competitive game, he'll probably play a bit more. Dre's off the bench. I don't want to do it. I think that's it. All right, so on to the Lakers. They're on a back-to-back here, so we'll see if any shenanigans happen. Yeah, we don't have to talk about Luka. He's great. I think Reeves was really popular tonight. I'm fine going there at 8.4K. I mean, if he's like 40+% owned like he was tonight, I'll just be underweight to that. Aiton's in a fine spot at 6.8K, more so priced right. I liked it more tonight on tonight's slate, excuse me. And I can't get to any value with Luka in. Can't do it. All right, let's move on to the Bucks. They're on a back-to-back, so like maybe Giannis sits potentially. Maybe he's limited. I will just mention that. But if he's plays and he's full go, he will be my favorite spend up on this slate. Ryan Rollins at 6.3K, good spot there. I like him in tournaments. Guy that can stuff the stat sheet, that's going to play big minutes. I don't think they want anything to do with Cole Anthony right now, so I'm into Ryan Rollins. Miles Turner's fine. I don't think I'm going to get too much else. Now, if we get like Giannis in the injury report or out for some reason on the back-to-back, then yeah, Rollins looks amazing. Miles Turner looks great. Bobby Portis is playable. He actually overlapped with Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner last game. They've been doing that up against bigger teams. Do they do that up against the Lakers tomorrow if Giannis hits? Potentially. Kyle Kuzma would be solid. Cole will get a bump. You can get to like Gary Trent, AJ Green, but they would be my least favorite by far. All right, massive news here. Denver, Jokic is questionable. Christian Braun, Cam Johnson, they're out tomorrow. Oh boy. If Jokic sits, load up on Denver. Jamal Murray looks fantastic. Aaron Gordon looks fantastic. Peyton Watson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, Jonas Valanciunas. There is going to be value here. You're going to have to load up on Denver if he sits. Now, if we get Jokic in, I love Jokic. I forgot to even go over him with the spend ups. He'd probably be my favorite spend up. I'm sorry. I guess I missed that when we were doing top spend ups. But Jokic looks great, obviously. Jamal is still too cheap at $8,000. Tougher spot here going up against Minnesota. Their defense hasn't been as good as last year. What else? Aaron Gordon's fine at $6,000. Going to have a much larger role and minutes upside with no Christian Braun, Cam Johnson. Like he is going to have to play a ton of minutes. I don't mind him. And then if we look at the rotation after Cam Johnson went down, we saw more Peyton Watson and we saw more Bruce Brown. And Christian Braun went down as well. So those two guys are definitely going to benefit a lot. I think both are good values. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to get a bump as well. He's perfectly fine. And then Jonas is playable, even if Jokic is in. Moving on to Minnesota, they're going to be on the back-to-back tomorrow, so just be a little bit careful there. Anthony Edwards at 8.8K is still too cheap. Rudy Gobert in this spot is like playable. I think I prefer other centers on this slate. What else do we have here? Randall's just always just there for me at 8.2K. Like I don't know if this is necessarily. I forget what I was going to say. What his ownership's going to be tomorrow. But he's fine. Not someone I always like to play into ownership. McDaniels got hurt tonight. We'll see if he plays tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's it. Like Mike Conley, sure. If no value opens up, I guess it's fine. But yeah, it's going to do it, guys. I hope you guys had a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.